So here's the way the week has panned out thus far. I finished up the second week of Beaxst for the second time. So that means I've done the first month of training has just been that phase 1. So this past week has been very different from the way it's written in the program. As always, I include my own cardio and zone 2 training, running, and then phase 1 is meant to end with a Beat the Beast challenge, which is the name of all of the challenges in this program, Beat the Beast. But this time, this one would have been a barbell complex ladder. I've decided I didn't want to do that challenge this time around. I am actually going to sub that in for the second challenge of this program. And that's because the second challenge of this program is your 3 major lifts with your bench, your squat, and your deadlift. But it has you doing the whole, here's your 3 options of weights, add up your points. And I just never like the challenges or even the workouts. One of the NXTs, it's all point values and all the different weight values that add up to different points. And let's not confuse my brain. This challenge, this go around, I decided to repeat the AX1 400 challenge. And I just did that yesterday. Again, when you do that challenge, I overthought it completely, had all these different schemes down of how I was going to break down the 4 exercises, being the bodyweight squat, inverted row, sit up, and push up, and all these different plans of maxing out how many reps I would do, how to decrease transition time, and ended up disappointed because I overthought it, and I should have done what I found worked years ago, which was 10 sets of 10. And we will see a version of that challenge within this program. I ended up hitting 13-14, I think. But the only thing I will say that has progressed significantly is my form, ability to do 85% of the push-ups on my toes. Inverted rows aren't nearly as inclined with, bracing or utilizing your lower body to assist in the pulling. But with doing that challenge yesterday, I obviously did not do the pull-up challenge inverted rows portion of the challenge, still did the hollow rock. And again, I'm not going to max out my inverted rows today. I did 100 inverted rows yesterday. So coming up on block 4, because there's 5 blocks of that challenge, I just upped my inverted row number by 2 so that I'll utilize that number through this block. But I did do my dead arm hang first thing today and hit my 5 more seconds on last time's number or time. So I hit that goal. Today is going to be the my pro prep day. So just did a little hill walking on the treadmill, and now I call it more like the potpourri. I know when I was in school and we did Jeopardy for quizzes and test reviews, you always had your potpourri category, which could be a little bit of everything. So maybe that's what today should be called. Corrective potpourri. And when I went back trying to find my latest AX1 400 challenge times in all my notebooks, because as I told you, I'm old school, everything gets handwritten, and I keep my notebooks. I could not find them. I know they're in the videos, but what I did find was something that was so inspiring for myself. I found the Total Beaxst handwritten out my first time doing this program. My first time doing this program was the summer of 2020. I started with AX1. I did a modification. I've modified these programs ever since I started. After AX1, and I stuck to the home modifications, so dumbbells. I didn't do barbell work. I knew that at that point I was ready to move on to barbell work and compound movements, but I was not accustomed to them. I was new to them. So when I did Total Beaxst my first time around, I was very conservative with the weights that I chose. And I spent the majority of that program continuing to be very conservative. My main goal, whole big goal overall, is to see progress, but without pushing it so much that I injure myself. And I think that that mindset of just being conservative has paid off significantly. Here I am over 3 years later, 3.5 years later, and beyond minor aches and pains like in the joints. I mean, I'm 38, I'm be 39 in August, so with age comes the joint pain and exercise. It's just part of it. But I haven't experienced any significant injuries that have sidelined me or made me have to really stop. And that is a huge progress Hello everybody. It's still the same day. For my previous recording, I did do this morning the correctives potpourri. Full disclosure, yesterday's 400 challenge time was just eating at me. I think also the idea that maybe the 10 sets of 10 rep scheme would have resulted in a better time was just also eating at me. I could not settle for that. So I just finished my second attempt at the AX1 400 challenge. And this time around, 10 sets of 10, except for when I got to the last 20, I knew there was 20, I knew time. I was racing the clock. So that's when I started jumping, cranking out 20 inverted rows, 20 squats, and back and forth between push-ups and sit-ups. I finished in 12:41. So that's shaving a couple seconds off of starting my smartphone and ending my smartphone. I'm happy. I'm happy with it. Obviously, I already just did this yesterday. Full disclosure again, I think I got to round 7. Round 7 might have been where I dropped to my knees for the push-ups. And I think out of everything, the thing that was sucking up the most time for me, I realized, was the sit-ups. Cranking out those sit-ups are a time suck for me, but I couldn't settle for yesterday's time. I had to do better. So that's where I'm at now. And again, like I said, coming up, there's slight modifications to the challenge within the Total Beaxst program, but something very similar to this will appear later on. But I just had to. I had to close out today on a positive note, and Saturdays have typically turned into rest days for me, so knowing that tomorrow is going to be a rest day, I didn't feel too overwhelmed doing this challenge again. Thank you for watching, but I hope everybody has a great weekend. I hope all the fathers out there had a fabulous Father's Day, and I will see you in the next phase of Beaxst and the way that I make it my own.